What's up, everyone? Eddie Mercado here with BloodyElbow.com, and I'm about to speak with the Bellator Lightweight contender Brandon Girtz ahead of his Bellator 165 bout with the undefeated Adam Piccolotti on November 19th. So let's check in with Brandon and find out what he's been up to since his last fight against Campos. He's had a year layoff, so let's find out what that gap's all about. Find out what he has in store for Adam Piccolotti and maybe his goals for the future. Mr. Brandon Girtz, thank you for joining me. How are you, sir?
I'm great, bro. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. You're 6-2 in the Bellator promotion right now, headed in to face an undefeated Adam Piccolotti at Bellator 165. Yeah, I mean, you got so much momentum behind you right now. I mean, how does it feel going into Bellator 165?
I'm excited, dude. I'm excited to get back in there. It's been a year. It's almost a year to the date when I come step back in there. So I'm definitely excited just to get back in there and keep the momentum going,
Okay, now you have a collegiate wrestling background, and I notice you stand southpaw. Are you left-handed, or is that from your wrestling stance?
It's my wrestling stance, actually. When I started out, they tried to tell me I needed to stand the other way, and I was like, there's no reason to do that. I ain't going to take away my best asset, just to stand regularly, how they say to do it. So, actually, my lead hand's my strong hand.
Okay, wow. That's I noticed a lot. I asked this because I talked to a couple wrestlers, and it's the same thing. They stand southpaw, but they're really right-handed, and that's got to be a huge advantage. I think Rich Franklin, he was big on that. He was actually right-handed, but he stood southpaw, just because it's such an advantage. Because people don't really face southpaws that much.
Yeah, absolutely. I absolutely feel like it's like you said, an advantage. It's different. It's definitely different.
Okay, now, I feel like you really hit your stride after the first Campos fight. I mean, you've had 4 first-round finishes. I mean, what was it from that fight on that kind of clicked with you?
Like I said before, that fight, I didn't really feel like myself. I went out there and I was kind of a shell, and that kind of woke me up because I kind of just went out there and I moved around. And I didn't really fight. After that, I decided that when I step in that cage, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna give it everything I got, because that loss right there really hurt, because I knew I didn't give it my all, so it really hit home hard. So after that loss, I just figured I'd just go out there and I just give them everything I got. I feel like it's a 1-round fight every time, so I go out there to finish somebody that first round. It's 1 round every time.
Okay, now in your Poppies Martinez fight, he overcommitted to a Kimura, and you turned it into an armbar. And it reminded me of what Matt Hughes did to GSP in their first fight. Did you see that fight by chance?
No.
Oh, it's almost identical. I mean, it was beautiful. Is that something you work on? And are you a specific belt in jiu-jitsu?
No, I wouldn't say I work on that. No, arm bars are definitely like my specialty or whatnot. But I always feel in control when someone's trying to grab my arm. It's just it's easy for me to turn it into me grabbing their arm. It's almost the same position. I just reverse it on them. And no, I'm not a belt. I've never thrown the gi on, so it's completely different.
Wow, that's impressive for as many submission victories as you have. After that, you faced Derek Anderson, and you got caught in the second. What was your biggest takeaway from that fight?
That was my biggest takeaway is I wasn't that angry, because I was out there and I was giving it and I was trying. I wasn't, like I said, being a shell of myself and fighting. I got caught. Everybody gets caught. That's what it kind of told me in that fight. Anything can happen, so go out there and, give it your all every time, because you don't know what's going to happen. That, was a great example. I felt great in that fight. That's some of the best I've ever felt. I was throwing an overhand while he was throwing a kick, and I ran right into his knee, knocked out.
Yeah,
like I said, anything can happen.
It's definitely part of the game, and I didn't even know if he was throwing a body kick or if he meant to throw the knee. It almost looked accidental. But
Yeah.
Is that a fight you would like to get back?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, he's a good fighter. He's definitely a good fighter, but it's one I'd like to get back just because I really feel like it was a accidental knee. You know, really, I don't. He wasn't trying to knee me. I know he knows he wasn't trying to knee me. He was throwing a kick, and all my force is what knocked me out. You know, and
Right.
I don't even really throw that overhand. I just felt great. Like I felt like I could do anything out there, and that was actually something we said not to do because he was so freaking tall. You could have saw in the fight when I threw it, it hit him in like under the neck, you know, just because that dude is so tall.
Yeah,
Anybody else, it would have hit him on the chin,
he's
but
tall
he's
for
so
the
tall.
division for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Now you responded, impressively. You came back and absolutely steamrolled Benny Madrid. I mean, you got him out of there in under a minute. And after that, you took on, a savvy veteran in Melvin Guillard, who has fought everyone. And you were very smart in that fight. You took him down and dominated him there. And it almost looked like you got a little tired in the third. But, I mean, you did enough to get the decision. Were you a little surprised that it was a split decision?
Oh, I was absolutely surprised it was a split decision. I mean, that means they would have had to give him one or two, and pretty much one and two, I was on top the whole time, you know. And he didn't even one and two was the first time he even punched me one time at the very end of the round. So absolutely, it shouldn't have been a split decision. That was crazy. But I mean, like I said in the third round, I mean, he brought it to me at the end. I wouldn't say I was necessarily tired. I think that combination took it out of me. You know, I mean, he landed a good knee, came straight on the chin, and I think that kind of just took the wind out of me, maybe. But other than that, I mean, I felt great.
Okay, now after that, you got the rematch with Derek Campos and smoke checked him. I mean, you came out, you dropped him with the hands. Maybe 3 hammer fists is all it took, and the ref was rescuing him. What did it feel like to get that kind of redemption in such spectacular fashion?
I mean, it felt great. Like I said, because that first fight was one of those fights that really hit home with me and hurt. You know, just because I didn't go out there and give it my all. So getting that win back and just proving to myself, you know, that first fight wasn't me. You know, it felt great.
Okay, now after that fight, like you said, it's been about a year to the day of a layoff. What was going on in that time frame?
Well, I tore my ACL, so I've been just rehabbing. You know, it's not I wouldn't call it a break because I've been working hard. You know, the whole time here. So it's just pretty much been a lot of leg work and a lot of biking.
Okay, yeah. ACL injuries are no joke.
It's tough. It's tough.
Yeah. How would you say the rehab went pretty well though? Pretty routine, no bumps along the way.
Nah, yeah, it went pretty good. There's always a few little bumps, especially when you're trying to, you know, compete and still go at a high level. You're definitely gonna have some of those days. It's like any injury; it doesn't just disappear once it's getting better. It's just like anything; it's just lingering. And some you have good days, you have bad days, you know. But it's definitely feeling great and definitely strong. And when the doctor gives you the go and says you're good to go, I believe him.
Okay. Now on your plate right now, undefeated fighter Adam Piccolotti, 8-0, pretty good on the ground, but you've yet to be put on your back in your career, or at least from what I've seen.
hmm
Is he going to be forced to stand with you?
I mean, I believe so. I don't think he has any chance, like you just said. I mean, 18 pro fights I've had, and I've never been taken down. You know, I can't say a lot of people have tried, but I'm not open for shots. I honestly feel like I have some of the best MMA wrestling there is in the game. There's a difference between MMA wrestling and just wrestling. There's a big difference, you know. And like I said, I've never been taken down. I don't get taken down often in sparring or anything, and that's just, you know, just because of my hips and, you know, how low I go. So if his game plan is to try to take me down, you know, and get the submission, it's gonna be a rough night, you know.
Okay. Now how's training camp going? Who are you training with for this?
It's going great. It's going great. I mean, my main training partner is Justin Gaethje. Me and him, you know, train quite a bit. I would say, you know, our team does it a little bit differently than some. You know, some teams, you know, train 5 days a week. They have class at 11 o'clock, and they all come in. They all work Kimuras or whatever they do. You know, it's a little different. We specialize on training, you know, on our our terms, kind of like having our special stuff. We come in, we train together, we work with our coaches, on what we need to do, So, like I said, he's my main training partner. A few other people, I train with Pat and Rose, and we pretty much a tight knit group.
Okay, awesome. Now, you train at elevation, right? Do you feel like that gives you a sort of benefit when you go to fight in different locations?
Absolutely. I mean, I always tell people, I say it's a free 10%. Like my lungs are 10% better than you, and I don't even gotta do anything but live here. I absolutely feel that, especially for the first time I came here. That first week, you're gasping for air. It's just like how many people I bring here, and they walk up my stairs to my apartment. By the time they get up to the top of my stairs, they're huffing and puffing and saying, "Holy crap!" I'm like, yeah, it's a real thing. So to say, like, and you've seen it in other people's fights when they've come here from another state to fight here or fight in Mexico or anything like that, it's a big change. So like I said, I always say it's a free 10%. I don't even have to do anything, and my lungs are at 10% better than yours.
Okay, awesome. Now, you have a prediction for this fight? I mean, how do you see it playing out?
I mean, I definitely see a knockout in the first round. I don't think he's going to be able to throw hands with me, and I don't feel like he can take me down. And I'm going to keep it standing. I'm going for my third knockout in my last 4 fights. That's what I'm aiming for. Like I said, he's good at jiu-jitsu. Why even test the waters down there? Because I know he's not good as good on the feet as I am.
Okay, so what would be next for you?
I'm looking at that title shot. If I beat Adam, I feel like he's another top 10 guy in Bellator. I beat him. I don't feel like there's really anybody else that I should fight other than for the belt, unless it's Josh Thompson. If they want to give me Josh Thompson for a number 1 contender, I'm cool with that. But other than that, I don't feel like I should be fighting anybody else. This will be my fourth win in a row. Freaking more of their top guys. I don't see it being anything other than the belt.
Okay, I dig it. So, I mean, with the belt, what would be after that?
Whoever they want to throw at me. I mean, obviously, the people I want to fight is Michael Chandler, Ben Henderson, and Josh Thompson. Those are the biggest names, I feel like, in the division. So those are the people I want to fight.
Those are the fights I would definitely love to see. Now, you got any people that are helping you out on this journey that you want to give a shout out to?
I mean, absolutely. Give a shout out to my coach, Jake Ramos, and then, like I said, my training partners, Pat, Rose, and Justin Gaethje. They're top people here helping me out, and then all my sponsors helping me out and everything like that.
Awesome. Well, Brandon Girtz, thank you so much for taking out the time. Adam Piccolotti, perhaps you'll give him his first loss, November 19th, Bellator 165. Best of luck to you, sir.
Thank you, bro.
So there you have it. Bellator lightweight contender Brandon Girtz set to take on the undefeated fighter Adam Piccolotti at Bellator 165 on November 19th. Go check it out. In the meantime, you can read me on bloodyelbow.com, follow me on Twitter at @the Eddie Mercado, and go be a good person.